This program is presented by the Associated General Contractors of America.
From wearing your hard hat to the proper protective footwear, you know how important safety is when you're standing on a job site. But how about when you're standing on a job site suspended from the side of a structure? These are two-point adjustable suspended scaffolds, otherwise known as swing stage scaffolds. This is the variety of suspended scaffold you'll probably see most often. When you're up on a swing stage scaffold, suspended high above the ground, safety is a crucial part of your daily work. Being familiar with the equipment and operating procedures helps minimize the risk for you and your coworkers. The modern swing stage scaffold provides a stable, secure platform for work on tall structures, like high-rise buildings or bridges. Starting from the top down, we can group swing stage scaffold equipment into three categories: rigging equipment, suspension equipment, and safety equipment. Rigging equipment is secured in some way to the structure you're working on. The swing platform is suspended from these devices. Suspension equipment includes wire ropes which attach to the hoists suspending the scaffold platform. Safety equipment includes PPE, like hard hats, and more importantly, properly secured personal fall arrest equipment for all workers setting up or working on the swing scaffolds. There are a variety of swing scaffold systems available. The system you use depends on the job at hand, but the same principles of rigging and inspecting apply to all varieties of swing stage scaffolds. Before rigging can begin, the competent person must survey the job site to determine what the appropriate rigging devices will be for the job. The competent person is someone on your site who has had training and experience with scaffold systems, can identify actual or potential hazards, and has the authority to take prompt corrective action if there's a hazard present. The competent person should also check the support structure and surrounding area, making sure the entire structure is strong enough to support the weight the swing stage scaffold will place on it. The rule is, the scaffold must be suspended from a surface that is able to support at least 4 times its maximum intended load. If you have any doubt about the structure's ability to support this weight, ask the competent person. Other hazards to be aware of when you survey the job site are power lines and electrical wiring. You don't want to accidentally run into them, and if you must work near them, you have to maintain a minimum safe distance. Usually this is at least 10 feet. The competent person should determine the appropriate clearance for your situation. Also, don't set up a swing stage scaffold during high winds or other severe weather conditions. Just as you've made sure the support structure is safe to work on, all the equipment you're going to use must be checked also. Inspect the swing scaffold equipment each day before use and after moving to a new drop location. If equipment is damaged or defective in any way, don't use it. This equipment should be tagged and removed from the job site. Never take chances. If you have any doubts about the safety of any equipment, ask the competent person or talk to your supervisor. Now that we've made sure the roof is sound and you've inspected the equipment, let's talk about the correct procedure for rigging a swing stage scaffold. Some of the rigging devices used to support the swing stage scaffold are outrigger beams, parapet clamps, and roof hooks. The rigging device you use depends on the job you're doing. All rigging devices must be able to support at least 4 times the maximum intended load of the hoist. When rigging these overhead support devices, wear the proper fall arrest equipment to protect yourself. You're not standing on the swing platform at this point, but you're working near roof edges, and falling is a potential hazard. If you use outrigger beams, they must be positioned at a right angle to the face of the support structure. They must be secured to the support structure either by being bolted down or by counterweights. If you use counterweights, make sure the roof structure is capable of supporting them. Counterweights must be made from solid material specifically designed for use as counterweights, and they must be secured to the outrigger beam. Don't use flowable material, like water or sandbags, or construction materials, such as masonry blocks, bricks, or roofing felt, for counterweights. Each counterweight is permanently marked with its weight. The number of counterweights you use depends on how far the outrigger beam overhangs the edge of the roof. Measure the outrigger beam overhang, then check the manufacturer's recommendations for the correct number of counterweights to use according to the length of the overhang. The amount of overhang cannot be longer than the maximum allowable length for the load being used. Roof hooks and parapet clamps are the other rigging devices you might use. These attach directly to the parapet wall of the support structure. Because these rigging devices are secured to the parapet of the structure you're working on, the parapet must be strong enough to support 4 times the maximum intended load of the suspended scaffold system. Most of the time, you can't tell how strong a parapet is just by looking at it. Check with the competent person or building owner to determine if the parapet is engineered to support the swing stage system. When installing roof hooks or parapet clamps, make sure they are sized correctly to the parapet and secured at a right angle to the support structure. If rigging is not directly connected to the roof deck or permanent attachment points, all outrigger beams, parapet clamps, or roof hooks must be anchored to the support structure with tiebacks. These will hold the load in case part of the system fails. Always secure the tieback without slack to a structurally sound part of the building which is capable of holding the load. It's up to the competent person to determine the appropriate tieback anchor point. It should be directly behind the rigging device being used, at a right angle to the face of the support structure. Also, tiebacks must be the same strength as the wire rope the swing scaffold is suspended from. Now that we've covered the rigging equipment used to support the swing scaffold, let's talk about the suspension equipment. The swing platform is suspended by wire rope. This is what's holding you up, so it's important to use the wire rope properly. When handling the wire rope, always wear gloves. Keep the rope neatly coiled and never leave it in a pile. Uncoil the rope hand over hand or slowly off the reel. As you're doing this, inspect the wire rope for any kinks, broken strands, abrasion, or heat damage. These defects make the rope unusable. When wire rope clips are used, they must be inspected, installed, and retightened according to the manufacturer's recommendations. Don't use U-bolt clips anyplace on the suspension rope. The length of the rope uncoiled should be as long as the height of the building, plus enough additional rope to reeve the hoist machine a minimum of 4 times. The rope and all connections must be capable of supporting 6 times the maximum intended load. The swing platform must be positioned so the hoists are directly below the points of attachment on the outrigger beams. If the hoists aren't directly below the suspension points, the scaffold could overturn when it's raised. As an added means of fall protection, the swing platform is equipped with a guardrail system. This includes top rails, mid rails, posts, and toe boards. Make sure that the guardrails are properly installed and will not break or come loose. Swing stage scaffolds must have toe boards on all open sides and ends. To prevent material from falling through the railings, swing stage scaffolds that are suspended over workers or public areas are required to have wire mesh between the toe board and top rail. It's also a good idea to set up a restricted access zone on the ground to keep people from walking under the swing stage. The hoist is the final piece of suspension equipment we need to discuss. See that the available power is adequate to operate the hoist properly. Follow the manufacturer's maintenance instructions. Always keep the hoist mechanism clean, and if the hoist is sluggish or noisy, don't use it until you find out why. If necessary, get a qualified person to take a look at it. At this point, the swing scaffold should be rigged and ready for operation. Remember, each person on the swing platform must be properly trained and hooked up to a personal fall arrest system. A fall arrest system usually consists of a separate lifeline, rope grab, lanyard, and body harness. Each component should be thoroughly inspected by the competent person. The lifeline must be tied off to a different structure than the scaffold system or tieback. The lifeline anchorage must withstand a pull of 5,000 pounds in any direction. Make sure there are no knots in the lifeline and avoid bending it over sharp edges. The rope grab attaches the lanyard to the lifeline. Always keep the rope grab as high as possible. The lanyard connects the rope grab to the body harness. It's a good idea to use shock-absorbing lanyards to minimize impact to your body if you fall. The body harness is what holds you when you fall. The harness should fit snug to the body with the D-ring at the center of the back. It's one thing to have the fall arrest equipment with you on the swing platform, but it's another thing to put it on. Don't just bring it along for the ride. Always hook up your safety equipment before you get on the swing platform. Now that you're wearing the proper safety equipment, let's talk about operating the swing stage scaffold. Getting a job done on time is definitely a priority, but there's no advantage in getting rushed and careless. Stay inside the platform at all times. Never lean out or climb on the guardrails. For added height, don't get creative. Just move the scaffold to where you can comfortably reach the work area. Before moving, make sure all materials on the swing platform are secure. Keep in mind that the system is made for a certain maximum intended load, and only a certain amount of material can be transported. This includes the combined weight of workers, tools, and materials. Check that the scaffold's path up and down the wall is free of any obstacles, like ledges and air conditioners. Most swing stage scaffolds have hoist controls at both ends. It takes good communication to make sure the hoist is raised and lowered smooth and level. There are also lots of lines hanging down from the top of the structure. Keep your eye on them to prevent them from getting tangled. As soon as you get the swing stage into place, if possible, it should be tied off to the structure to prevent swaying. The competent person will point out the proper place to tie off the scaffold. Before moving again, make sure you've untied from the structure. There are additional requirements for insulating the swing stage scaffold when welding. Check with the competent person or supervisor for these details. Swing stage scaffolds are engineered to provide safe access and work areas for the people who use them. If you follow these guidelines, the manufacturer's recommendations, and the OSHA requirements, your swing stage scaffold will be a safe and secure structure to work on. When you're up this high, you've got to have an equally high standard for safety. From way up here, it's a long way down to here, and you don't want to make a personal measurement. You know how to be safe on a job site. On a swing stage scaffold, it's time to raise safety to a new level.